Offside, he says. And that's it.
Time whistle.
2-1 is the final whistle. As the final whistle goes, Slough Town find themselves the victors against the 10-man Maidstone United. Rafe Brown picking up a second yellow card in the second half. He was a second half substitute as well, wasn't he?
Yeah, it wasn't helped there by Rafe Brown getting the 2 yellow cards. Obviously, the second yellow and eventual red came with after Maidstone had equalised, built up a little bit of a momentum, and it kind of killed that little bit of momentum. Although they did have that shot from Sam Bone there, and Slough just kind of caught us on the counter attack, really, didn't they? Once the player on the far side had slipped his man there, he, played it into the box, and it was basically 2-on-1, and just directed the ball into the box. Maidstone did have their chances. I think they looked better second half, Conor.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, you could see why we've got Mo Fowl in that second half, I think.
Yeah, he did a good job, didn't he, of when the ball come up towards him, he did bring it down nicely and get others around him involved, and Tanga looked good coming in, playing off of him. Tanga was dangerous around that second half, I thought, and so was Liam Sol when he did come on. It's just one of those ones, isn't it, where pick up a second yellow, if that don't go down to 10 men, then maybe it's a different story. Mo Fowl had a good couple of chances, didn't he, after he got his penalty goal. He threw on goal one time, checking with the line whether or not he's on or not.
Interesting one, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I didn't actually see it, but it was one of those where he was so far, his pace had got him through. They kind of pushed up, Slough trying to push up. Fowl found himself onside, looked to the referee, and then he literally turned round onto the ball, and Dan Lincoln was sort of coming out, bearing down on him, and he managed to get a shot off, got a second shot off, and Slough managed to clear it out for a corner to Maidstone, but nothing come of it. And then literally again with that shot of Sam Bones, that was the one that they broke on from that corner.
Yeah,
that counter attack and scored. So definitely had their chances, and even towards the end when we're chasing the game, it was good. Tiago again looked good. He's got a lot of trickery, he's got a lot of speed. I think it's just about trying to find the right system to suit everybody, isn't it?
Yeah, I think when Tango did come into that more central role and we made those changes, he looked to link up play well, and he linked up very well with Mo Fowl, and I think playing Mo Fowl down that middle is sort of what benefited Maidstone in that second half. Slough definitely the team in the first half that were dangerous, and then Maidstone did look to sort of have the second half as their half where they would dominate, and it really changed a lot, I think, for them. The red card and obviously the second goal, it just really changed everything up for the game and the plan. I think Maidstone really were on the ascendancy, weren't they? And then before you know it, with the goal down, a player down, and it's an uphill battle from there.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting, I think, on Tuesday night at Braintree. I mean, Slough, Rafe Brown is now going to obviously miss the FA Cup game against Ipswich,
which he'll be gutted for, obviously.
He will. I mean, he had that card rescinded, didn't he, after the Tunbridge Boxing Day game? But I don't think there's no grounds of appeal for this one, so he's missing that.
Well, he won't be able to as well with the second yellow. He won't be able to appeal this at all.
So it's going to be interesting, really, how George kind of focuses the players, because as great as this FA Cup run is, we are now kind of losing ground in the league. We're going to remain in our point position, our place there, point position. Conscious having a quick look to see. I know Torquay were 1-0 up, so maybe they've leapfrogged us a little bit, and we may be in our 6th place. But the teams are below us now are bunching up behind us, and they've got games in hand. So it's all right having points on the board if you do get those points on the board. But when you're playing one of the only teams that are playing and you don't get points on the board, it just puts a little bit of extra pressure on you.
Yeah.
Going forward. But like we said before we started, you can see the transition of this team. You can see the way that George wants to play. I think he's just kind of got to give it a few games really to try and bed these new players into the team and get a way of sort of playing that's going to put points on the board and goals in the net, and those things go hand in hand, don't they?
Just as a Slough Town fan comes up to us and says good luck next week, fair enough, but this is the league at the moment and we're focusing on it. It's a big thing, obviously everyone's eyes in it, everyone's been down the ground today queuing up for tickets for next week, but we still have got today to play, and obviously today's turned out the way it has. We've still got Braintree at home. That's going to be a tough match there. It's sort of dropping points against these teams that are going to be mid-table that you really don't want to be doing, and that's sort of what we've done today, and it's frustrating, and you sort of understand it from one perspective, but from another you think surely we want the momentum to go into Braintree on Tuesday and Ipswich next week.
The other side of that as well is, of course, we come out of the FA Cup. The other side of the FA Cup game, our next two league games is Torquay and Yeovil at home.
Yeah.
So
and they're huge.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, after the Ipswich game, we then have 3 games at home, which is Yeovil, Torquay, and then Hemel Hempstead. So, just in the space of that week or so, we're playing top. Torquay are in the playoffs with us, and then we're playing Hemel Hempstead, who are up there as well. So in 10th. So currently as it stands. So you could say, next week's obviously a biggie for us, but we've also got to make sure that we are in the playoffs by the end of the season.
Exactly.
I think
that's the problem that George has got now going forward, trying to keep the players focused and up for the challenge. And like he said in previous interviews, this is our bread and butter. So I'm sure they're in there now and having a good heart of themselves, and they'll analyse this game and get themselves ready for Braintree on Tuesday night. So
Braintree find themselves currently 13th in the league, so it's sort of a similar situation as how we started today. We play the team that's 13th, and we know that it's going to be a difficult game because we'll be up against it, and they'll be wanting to sort of spoil our momentum that we're currently in, and sort of all the joys that we've got and the buzz that we've got around the FA Cup, as obviously it's the furthest the Mason have ever been.
Yep, that's exactly it. So we'll see you again on Tuesday evening when it's Braintree at home, and hopefully we will see 3 more points to the Stones in that game, and then it's all roads to Ipswich. So until Tuesday night, from me, Nigel Seeger and Conor Kent, safe journey to all the Stones fans, and we'll see you on Tuesday night. Come on, you Stones!